Welcome one, welcome all to another episode of Jupiter's Crock here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. My name is Matthew, joined once again by Ronan.
Let's do this.
Oh God. Oh no. Ugh. Gross. And good Ploticus himself, Steve.
Yep, I am here. I sadly do not have
Mm.
a nerd throat, but I did crush a bag of Nerds gummy clusters yesterday.
Did you find the
Gross.
ones that have the gummy, like to have the juice
I
side of it?
yeah, those were a step down from just the normal ones. Matt, there are ones now. Do you like Gushers, the gummy candy?
No.
Okay, well then
Of course
you're
you don't.
just a fucking lost soul. Then you definitely wouldn't like these. Imagine a Gusher with like the Nerds candy on the outside of it.
What I
Gross.
liked about
Gross.
them was that the individual clusters were substantially bigger than a normal cluster. The juice was lacking, but it was like a big fucking chunk of gummy and nerd, and
Okay.
I was into that.
Okay. So, folks, we are talking House of Ashur this week, or shall we say House of Caesar. We will get into that. Hit that like and subscribe. I want to thank everybody who has been watching these episodes. We're one of the few YouTubers that it seems like that's actually reviewing this show week to week, and we've had a lot of really nice comments over our first three episodes. So if you're joining us for the first time, you've been watching House of Ashur, and you're like, man, finally came across some YouTubers who are talking about this show and are as passionate about it and love it as much as I do, hit subscribe, because every Friday we're going to be posting a new episode, and
We've
we
also
are
covered the entire previous 4 seasons
Yeah,
of
there's a lot more
Spartacus.
content on the channel.
Yeah. There's a ton of previous content. Now, unfortunately, you won't get to see our beautiful faces on those. It was just we're playing poker and chatting about it. But if you want to go to the Jupiter's Crock playlist on Outpost Unknown, you will find hours and hours and hours and hours. Or, Steve, you were nice enough to just put like full videos of like 12 hours of us talking about Spartacus. So you can just fire that up in the background while you're working and listen to us chat, right?
Yeah, of course. There's a solid like 20 plus hours of Spartacus content on whatever the hell our YouTube channel is called.
This
Outpost
nerd rope
Unknown.
is delicious. Mm.
Oh my God.
It looks
Um,
delicious.
So we are halfway through House of Ashur already. We are talking episode 5, Goddess of Death. Now, last episode, and I think I'm going to give Ronan some props here, because I think Ronan, didn't last episode you mention you thought something like a certain man named Crassus might be behind a certain thing that happened in a marketplace? Or am I
I knew
crazy about that?
I suspected someone was
Okay.
behind that. I was kind of thinking, well, maybe it might have been like, like a chorus and like the like God, I forgot the guy who was
Operator,
talking with opera. Like
operator.
maybe it might have been them, and I was sort of kind of right. Operator, yes,
You were close.
spoilers, spoilers.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Operator,
We'll get
yeah, yeah, yeah. It,
But I want to give you props up front, because when the certain thing happened, which we'll get to, I was like, God damn it, Ronan was right. Or Ronan was very close to being right. Right, Ronan called it. So props
yeah.
to you. There's a question before we get into Goddess of Death. Um, I wanted to ask you guys a question, because this occurred to me after this episode. Asher, we loved Asher in the original series because he's a horrible villain, in terms of like he's a horrible human being. I mean, he's done very bad things to many people. Um, I don't feel like he's really a villain in this show so far. And do you guys feel like we're getting kind of like that evil villainous Asher, or he's just kind of like the good guy in all of this?
He's the protagonist. He's not the good guy.
Yeah, that's
I
the
think
more
What's he
accurate
done
way.
that's really bad? What's he done that's been really
nothing. No,
bad?
you're absolutely right. He has not done anything villainous, but he's the main character now. So I think he's only hurting people that have hurt him first so far. So maybe Asher like genuinely wants to go straight to some extent. Like he earned his freedom. Now he wants to work his way up through Roman society, and I think he's willing to play by the Roman rules in that regard. And it's just the other people being shitty to him that are forcing his hand. I think if Ashur had just a legitimate path to like marry into the Roman hierarchy and just live his life as a Lanista and potentially, a senator or some sort of official office later on, I think he would be happy with that. I never got the impression that Ashur liked being a villain. He did it because that's what he had to do to survive.
This is a dude who was literally like SAing multiple women in the original, including Lucy Lawless in the
Yeah.
original show. And
Yeah.
at the end of this episode, I actually thought to myself, I'm like, are we supposed to be rooting for this dude? Like, he's a
Yes.
really bad
No.
guy. He's a
Yes.
bad guy.
He's
Well,
the protagonist. We were supposed to root for him. We
I
rooted
don't know.
we rooted for Badiatus constantly in
Yeah.
the original
Yeah.
series.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it last episode. Is that like it was one of these episodes where I was just kind of throwing out the oh yeah, by the way, let us not forget Ashur is a horrible human being who has
Yeah.
done horrible things. This particular show currently, he hasn't really, at least by the terms of what's acceptable in this society, he hasn't he himself has not become like an evil villain per se in this show yet. But like has
Yeah.
similar to how like in Gods of the Arena, the prequel show. Like where we are first introduced to him. Like he became a villain because the other gladiators never accepted him, and that was like becoming a sneaky little snake was what he had to do to survive. And yeah, that lack of acceptance, where we could have just accepted him, and then he would have died in the arena because he's not very good at this. Like would have stopped everything from happening. Uh, but currently, like right now, he's like, if these Romans would just step off of his fucking nutsack and okay, well, yeah, let's give you a chance and let you, fail on your own. Like like the problem would take care of itself. but
Yeah.
Yeah. He got his wish. He got his freedom. He got the House of Badiatus. He would play ball if other Romans would stop fucking with him. That's my take on current Ashur.
I guess I'm just kind of like, should we be rooting for someone we saw do such horrible things to other characters previously? Because all that still happened, canon-wise, right? He still did horrible things to Lucy Lawless that she didn't want done to her,
Yes.
and so now it's like, but now I'm supposed to be like, damn, I'm no. Don't get me wrong, I have conflicting feelings because that's what the show does. The show sets up these villains who are so awful, but you just can't help but root for them. I'm just saying, I feel kind of icky. I feel
Well,
kind of
the
icky.
show's
Like
doing a good job.
a
Yeah,
good
it was
charismatic
the
villain.
same.
Yep.
It was the
Go
same
ahead.
thing with Badiatus.
Yeah. A good charismatic villain who forms plans, sticks to them, and succeeds. We, the audience, like a smart character who gets shit done. That's why, like, it's why, like, a lot of times in a lot of movies, the villain is oftentimes the most interesting character in those movies.
Yeah.
Like Die Hard, Hans Gruber. That's definitely the most interesting character, and he's a villain. He's a bad dude. He's like nothing in Die Hard makes me think that Gruber is a good guy. But yeah,
He's just trying to rob people. That's
yeah,
all. He just
yeah.
wants to live on the beach earning 20%.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm pretty sure everyone watched Die Hard at some point over this wonderful holiday season. They probably had it playing while Matt was opening his presents at the Ross. But yeah, it's like
Teen Wolf, baby. Teen
like
Wolf.
there are a lot of other examples like Dark Knight or even fuck the Avatar movie that's out right
Yeah,
now.
I get it. I understand what you're saying. I'm just, I don't know. Like, we're five, basically, I'm saying we're 5 episodes in, and Ashur, the villain, like, I loved Ashur, the villain. And I don't seem to be getting any villainy from Ashur in this. Like, Ashur's just basically reacting to what everyone else is. He's playing ball, like you said. He's just playing ball with what all these people are doing, but he's not actually being a villain to any of these other people in here. And I think I'm missing villain Ashur, but then I'm just like, I don't know. It's hard, but we'll talk about it as we go.
Currently, he doesn't have the means or motive. Well, he's got the motive, but currently he doesn't really have the means to start doing horrible schemes yet. Like
We'll
to a
see.
lot of these people. So Like
Yeah.
I get the feeling it's like, okay, yeah, some of the stuff's definitely about to start happening, or at least I would hope so, because we are halfway through this show.
We'll see. Leave a comment down below, folks. Let us know, what are your thoughts on Asher so far? Is he a good guy? Do you like how he's sort of being portrayed? I still think he's charismatic as hell. I don't feel like he's a bad guy in this at all, and I'm kind of missing evil Asher. But we'll see. Ploticus, take it away, good sir.
So Caesar and his wife show up, and they are just being fucking bastards to everyone. This episode did such a great job of making me hate Caesar.
Oh man, yeah.
Caesar and his wife, I think her name is Cornelia. I'm not entirely sure. They
Stephen DeKnight's wife, by the way. I'm going to point out, Stephen DeKnight married a woman who looks like the typical Roman that we all like. She just has a Roman face. Like, this chick is going to be evil incarnate. She would be upper class Rome. So good on you, Stephen DeKnight, casting your wife in there. She just looks like a
I'm sure,
Machiavellian.
I can imagine. Like, honey, you know what would be great? I think it would be awesome if in this scene another chick went diving on you for the art. For the art.
Did you know she was? I don't think she was naked in that. So I wonder if Stephen DeKnight will actually, like, every girl's getting naked on this. Will Stephen DeKnight's wife get naked on this show? That's a
I
question.
thought she
I
was
don't think
naked, but I wasn't paying that close
she
attention.
has some like weird like thing on, like hiding her
All
nipple or
right,
something.
all right.
It was very
Anyways,
strange.
Caesar and Caesar's wife show up, and they are just being bastards. They are talking about your Asher, your villa smells like shit. They make a big show of like Asher, like in the first episode, Asher had like
Yeah.
commissioned a statue of himself. And they knock over the statue. They just
Oh,
they take over, and Asher and obviously Hilar are not happy about any of this, but there's nothing they can do. So Asher and Caesar, they have to go talk business, and Asher first starts saying, I wanted to talk to you, most important business, rebuilding the arena. And Caesar's like, fuck the arena. I set up that whole plot from 2 episodes ago. Caesar just lays out the entire plot on the table. He's like, did you not think it was weird? Did you think it was, a godly coincidence that you just happened to be moving my shit at the exact time the Cilician pirates attacked? Like, I and Crassus, because Crassus isn't in this episode, but Caesar says I acted on Crassus's words, which was to set up a scenario that would get you into Gabinius's good graces. The goal of all of this is if Gabinius shows favor to you and gives you, a good position in his games, that would be a signal to all the rest of the Romans that now suddenly Gabinius is cool with Crassus, and perhaps because Ashur is Crassus's man. If Gabinius buddies up with Crassus's man, that means that he's probably on good terms with Crassus, and that would be a signal to Pompey that Pompey has lost an ally, and so it's really extra not a good idea for you to go and start a civil war. It's immediately just plot up. Caesar's like, yeah, I fucking
yep.
did it, Ashur. You're fucking stupid. He tells Ashur, we only needed to do this because you completely failed to get into the games on your own. So we had to step in and set this up. But anyway, so and then Caesar just tells Ashur, like, hey, go schedule a meeting with Gabinius. Gabinius, like a good dog, just walk away. And Ashur, he has to say, your will, and then the camera gets on his face, and he's very like, my hands. He's very upset about this.
My hands.
So
That's the thing. It's like poor Asher. I'm like, I shouldn't be saying poor Asher. I shouldn't be feeling bad for Asher. He's a horrible person.
you got to think there's going to be something. I mean, maybe he just dies. Maybe that's the end of the series, because obviously Caesar has to go and do his own thing, and so does Crassus. But anyways, maybe there's going to be something later on in the series that's just going to like push him over the edge, and we're going to get a villainous Ashur as opposed to willing to play ball Ashur. But anyways, Caesar tells him set up a meeting with Gabinius so I can, so the real people can talk about what's going on here. And Ashur is not happy, but he doesn't have a choice. He is, he's got Crassus's patronage, and that extends down through Caesar. Caesar and Gabinius are going to go meet. But they've actually, now it's time. The Ashur has a place in the games. He doesn't necessarily have the main event yet, but he's going to get 3 matches in the games. And the 5 gladiators are, of course, Achillea. She's going to be the champion. Then we have Daddy Gladiator and Kid Gladiator, whose names are Tarchon is Kid Gladiator and Caladus is Daddy Gladiator. And then Kid Gladiator's 2 best buddies that show up occasionally, and I finally figured out their names are Arado and Ephesius or something like that. Erado and Ephesius.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's 5 episodes. 5 episodes in, I finally got this.
They were just background guys.
They are, spoiling a bit at the end, they are so inconsequential that we don't even see their fight at the end of the episode.
No idea if they won or lost. None.
Inconsequential copy and paste gladiators. They could have just said, sorry, we've only got 2 matches. It's going to be Kid and Daddy Gladiator.
And these Achillea. 2 red shirts will be joining you in the arena.
We don't even know if they're red shirts.
Yeah, I wonder if they filmed something, but they're just like, because I think this episode's over an hour long. I wonder if they just cut the scene because they're like, we don't need it. Like, what's the point of having these guys in here?
Yeah, I don't know, but the plan is still, the expectation is still that Achillea is going to fight the Ferox brothers, and so Chorus alongside Kid and Daddy Gladiator team up to give 3-on-1 training to Achillea. Later, it's not immediately after this, but later on, there's a scene where Tarchon, Kid Gladiator, he gives a big speech about what's beneath your feet, sacred ground, and we have to support the house of Ashur, and we got to support Achillea. And he makes a big showing of saying, I've given Achillea a lot of shit, but we all got to back her up now, and they all give her a piece of their bread. So she, as the champion of the house of Ashur, she's got extra food. And then Arado goes up to Tarchon's like, what the fuck? And Tarchon's like, I still fucking hate her. I want to kill her myself so that I can take her place as champion.
Yeah, I just want her to elevate the house, so then that way I can step on the shoulders of greatness that I didn't earn.
Because I suck as a gladiator.
Yeah, the American way, the Roman way.
So we get a big meeting between Ashur or I guess we get a big meeting between Gabinius and Caesar, and also Ashur is there, and they lay out the plot that we've already kind of talked about, where at some point Gabinius mentions to Caesar, I really want Pompey to leave and go after the pirates. I want Pompey to leave Rome, and that will, lower the chances of civil war, and that, of course, piques Caesar's interest. But they talk about the games, and they mentioned, or Caesar says, I want Ashur's champion in the Primus, the main event of your games, because if Capua thinks that you are good friends with Ashur, who again is Crassus's person in Capua, that would then make it look like you're on Crassus's side, which would tell Pompey that he no longer has an ally in Capua. Make it happen. And Gabinius is like, yeah, okay, that works. So all of them are together on this. They are going to make a big showing of having Ashur and Gabinius side by side at the games to send a message to Pompey that he's not wanted in Rome anymore. Pretty please with sprinkles on top. Don't start a civil war with Crassus. So Caesar's like, oh, by the way, as long as I'm stationed at the house of shit, I may as well throw a shit party at the house of shit. And he's like, Ashur, you don't mind, right? Yeah, you don't fucking mind. You don't actually get a say in this. Caesar just continues to be a fucking bastard. And so they go back to Ashur's house, and Ashur and Halara are very upset at what's going on. And Ashur goes into his room and finds. Did I freeze again?
Go ahead.
I'm laughing at the setup.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ashur walks into his room.
Ashur walks into his room and finds Caesar's wife fucking Messia, the slave girl that wants to bang Hilara, and Ashur's
On
like
Ashur's bed.
on Ashur's bed, and Ashur's like, "Forgive me. Apparently, basically you shouldn't be doing this." And then Caesar walks in, and Ashur's like, "Apparently your wife mistook her bed or mistook my bed for her bed. A simple mistake, but let's fix this." And Caesar's like, like, I am not your equal. You are beneath me. And Caesar beats Ashur, like punches him, like stomps a fucking stone cold mud hole in his ass, and then he takes Hilara and assaults Hilara on Ashur's bed while Caesar's wife
Yeah.
is getting eaten out by Messia, and Caesar is making strong eye contact with his wife while this is
Aggressive eye contact the whole time.
It's a scene. Well, what's funny is like when before Asher gets beat up, and he's just like, "What the hell?" Is like, Messi is like my girl. Like, you can't be banging my girl. And then when Caesar comes out, Caesar's like, "My wife will be pleased in whatever manner she wishes, and you're gonna like it." And I'm just like, "Oh boy!" But yeah, so we have definitely established Caesar as a villain here. Like,
Yes.
this sequence is very like aggressive.
Did this seem out of character? We were just talking about Ashur being out of character. Did this Caesar seem out of character?
Okay.
For Caesar? Fuck no.
Okay, I wanted to ask you guys this because I didn't know if it was the actor. Okay, I'm just going to say I am not sold on the actor playing Caesar in this. This guy felt like way too smarmy, and maybe they're trying to say, oh, well, it's because Rome won, they beat Spartacus, and now he's all full of himself. I don't feel like the previous Caesar was like this smarmy. Like, wasn't there a scene where he's like literally like skinning his dick or something with a knife in the original? Like,
no, he wasn't
like,
doing that.
He was cutting off his brand.
Yeah, but
cutting off his brand. Yeah, like
finger quotes. Yeah, he had a slave cutting off a section of skin on his thighs to make it out like he had a brand that he cut off.
But I guess the actor who played it just played Caesar way different in my mind than this guy. This guy just felt like
small sample size, but I cannot see this new Caesar doing any of the shit the previous Caesar did. Like, previous Caesar was a badass. He didn't back down from anything. Again, small sample size. This Caesar seems like as long as he thinks he's going to win, he's going to treat you like shit. But I feel like if Ashur was actually a threat to him, he would this Caesar would immediately back down, whereas previous Caesar would not.
Well, previous Caesar was also dealing with like combatants that he could straight up just kill, whereas currently Caesar, like I think even he understands. Well, if I just straight up killed Ashur, there would be consequences of some extent. Like, because he is technically a free man or whatever, but yeah, he can't, like, he has to we have to see him play differently because now he's dealing with politics. Whereas in War of the Dam, he was dealing with rebels who he could just, like, beat around and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about this Caesar so far. I was not into it.
Yeah, I could not see old Caesar doing what happened in this scene. It just something just felt off. Like, maybe this character should not have been Caesar. Is I guess what I'm getting at. Like, Caesar was like a slave owning Roman, but I get it's been like a year and a half since we watched the previous season or the last season of Spartacus. There was nothing that led me to believe that old Caesar would treat Hilara the way he did.
You forget the scene where he tried to take Crassus's main slave, and then Crassus's kid stepped in between, and then she ran down the hallway crying, and he had to apologize to Crassus for trying to do that.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could maybe if I had watched the last season of Spartacus back to back with this, I would feel completely different. But I don't know. Something just feels off with new Caesar here.
It did. Leave a comment down below, folks. Does new Caesar feel off? And I guess I'll be even more disappointed if this is kind of jumping ahead, but if Caesar doesn't reappear this season, I will be more like, why was Caesar in this? Like, Caesar's got to have a much bigger role. And at the end of this, he's like, oh, I'm off on business, and I'm going to leave my wife here for X amount of episodes.
He might be kind of the for lack of a better word, Glaber stand-in in this season, where he shows up like in this episode, then doesn't show up again until like the last two or something, maybe,
Maybe.
possibly.
Yeah, we'll
But yeah,
see.
again,
We'll
the
see.
show's not done yet. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're all in agreement that new Caesar just isn't clicking. This felt out of character for that Caesar, for Caesar, which seems weird considering again he was like a slave owning Roman that had no problem killing people. Maybe that just speaks to how like gross new Caesar is coming
He
across.
feels so smarmy and
Yes,
nasty. Like he
like
just is like a sleazeball,
weaselly.
which the other previous guy didn't feel that way. And his GQ face doesn't help. So I don't know.
So anyways, now we get to the party, and there's a shitload that happens at this party. So I'm just going to try to go through it.
Yeah, this party was this party scene had a lot of what bothered me in Black Sails, where it's like, oh god, every second character is trying to scheme with the first character, who is checking in on their scheme with the third character, who is I was yeah th- this yeah
Ronan was lost.
yeah, I was following it, but I was like, fuck, God, what the what? Why is he? No, God, yeah, I
There's
was
so
doing
All right,
that.
much.
well, yeah. Let me try to get through like the big points of this party, and you guys can let me know if I miss anything. First of all, Gabinius's entire family shows up, and so Ashur is very happy to see Viridia.
Dreamweaver is playing again.
Dreamweaver. Uh, Caesar wants to present the gladiators to everyone, and so they roll out Opiter's people, and then they roll then they roll out Proculus's people, then they roll out Ashur's people, and when Aquilia comes out, they laugh at her, they mock her, and so Gabinius pulls Ashur aside and is like, "What the holy fucking shit fuck did you do? Like, how
Yeah.
is it that all the times we've talked about the games, you never mentioned that you were going to have a woman be in the games?" And Ashur's just like, you didn't ask. And so
Womp womp.
Gabinius is finally like, look, you've essentially embarrassed me. Like now I am obligated to Caesar to put a woman in the Primus. I am gonna look like a goddamn fool to everyone in Capua. Um I'm gonna get through the games, and then you and I are fucking done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So Gabinius goes to leave.
Lose
And
my number.
yeah, don't call me again. So Gabinius is about to leave, and Ashur mentions, "Why is it that you are only just now mentioning to Caesar that you want Pompey to leave Rome?" And Gabinius is like, "Wait a minute." So a couple episodes ago, we found out that, or maybe it was last episode, I don't know, Gabinius was going to test Ashur. He was going to leak information about Pompey to Ashur to see if that information made it back to Crassus and Caesar. And so now this is the culmination of that test. So Gabinius had told Ashur previously, "I want Pompey to leave Rome." And then now, some time has passed, and now in the previous meeting between the three of these guys, Gabinius had also mentioned, he just told Caesar right then, "I want Pompey to leave Rome." And it was clear that this was news to Caesar. And so so Ashur's like, "Why did you mention that to me? It's obvious, you were pulling some kind of stunt. You were testing me." And so Gabinius acknowledges, "Well, yeah, you passed the test." And so
Actually, give me your number again.
give me your number again. We can be friends again. So they have this back and forth that I really liked, where Gabinius is like, "So why are you doing this? Do you want to prevent civil war in Rome, or are you wanting to elevate yourself?" And Asher's like, "Two things
Gives
can
him
be
the
true at once,
smile. It's
buddy."
like, I can do
um,
both.
yeah, there's
You
this
can
this
walk and chew gum at the same time, Gabinius. I mean,
I'm a pretty chill guy. I'm really smart.
Yeah, there's this great acknowledgement of Gabinius towards Ashur. Gabinius was ready to cut ties with Ashur, and then he finds out that not only did Ashur recognize he was being tested, he took the path that made him the most useful to Gabinius. And so now Gabinius still wants Aquilia to fucking die, but he and Gabinius and Ashur, like they make peace, and so they're going to continue to work together. um what else happens at this party? Achilles and the Ferox brothers are shit talking each other, and I think multiple people I think have acknowledged that Achilles has got like a sharp tongue. Like she does
Yeah.
not back
Oh,
down
yeah.
from talking shit about people.
She can't back up any of it so far,
She can't.
but she's willing to shit talk. I will point out, I don't know if this has already happened when Caesar's presenting all the gladiators or before, but at the very beginning of the episode, when it says House of Ashur, the title changes to House of Caesar, and in this moment, Caesar's like, this is now the House of Caesar, and
You
like
don't
all the
mind, do you,
pleasures
Ashur?
within. Yeah, you don't mind, Ashur. This is now my house tonight.
Well, Ashur's like,
God damn it.
Ashur's like, oh, I'll announce the gladiators to everyone, and Caesar's like, no. Someone, someone more notable needs to announce the gladiators. Achilles and the Ferox brothers are trading barbs with one another. We talked about this in the last episode. Like, what the fuck was up with Kid Gladiator's love interest? Is she gonna come back? Well, the show needed wine and whores, so she comes back. So Kid and Daddy
For 30
Gladiator,
seconds.
for 30 seconds.
Another sex scene.
They go to Crixus and Navius' old fuck spot under the stairs.
Yeah.
Kid and Daddy Gladiator have like a sparring contest, and then Ashur tells him, go get some food and wine and hookers if you want, as a reward. And so Kid Gladiator is walking away, and he notices his, according to him, his girlfriend is about to have sex with an old fat Roman. And he's like, "Oh, excuse me. Actually, Caesar was looking for this girl. Excuse me. Come with me." And then she's like, "Oh, what did Caesar want with me?" And she's like, "I don't fucking know. I never talked to Caesar. I was just pulling you away so we could
Caesar's
talk."
what I call my hard penis, girl. Let's go. Let's go.
Render unto Caesar, and yes. She does. They go off and fuck. Opiter and Chorus have a scene where Opiter is like, "You didn't mention that Achilleo was a thing," and Chorus is like, "Yeah, I mean, I like you, but you're still a fucking rival, and also we should kind of keep our distance from each other." Not enough distance for Chorus to refuse a hand job from Opiter.
No. It's like when I say we need to keep our distance, what I actually mean is we need the exact distance it takes your
6
hand.
inches.
It's the exact distance it takes your hand to reach the shaft. Don't forget to get it that fist.
Proculus is eyeballing it.
Yeah, Proculus is watching Chorus get a hand job from Opiter. Speaking of Opiter, he then goes and talks with Caesar. And you find out that Caesar paid Opiter to tell Cosudia and Verdia about the Egyptian linens to make sure that they would be in the marketplace at just the right time for the hired Cilician pirates to attack them. And Opiter is like,
Egyptian linens, man. I'm telling you, Egyptian linens.
Opiter is like, what the fuck? Like the Aedile's wife died. You told me no one was going to die, and Caesar's
like, no one in the letter died.
No one notable is going to die. But Caesar goes on to tell Opiter, is like, it sure would be a shame if you fucking died if you talked about this to anyone. So Opiter was involved, but now Opiter has to, he's got to keep his mouth shut because speaking about it might ruin the relationship with Chorus.
I will say, I just want to say, like, even though I'm not on board with the actor playing Caesar, they made Caesar like the best villain of this entire show so far in about 30 minutes of screen time. Like, this guy you find out he's behind everything evil that's going on in this show, and I'm just curious, are they gonna keep that going, or are we gonna see Caesar again? I don't know, but 5 episodes in, he's the best villain that the show has so far.
Absolutely.
In my
opinion. 2 other things that happen during this party, I think. This is a long fucking scene. Ashur
interspersed with sex, by the way. Lots of
a good Roman orgy scene. We need a couple of those per season.
Ashur goes to Proculus, who is the other Lanista that is in a rivalry with the House of Ashur and Opiter. And Ashur tells Proculus, like, I know you sent Fidus to try to kill Chorus like 3 episodes ago, and Asher and Proculus agreed. Like if we had the chance, we would just fucking try to kill each other right now, but we don't. But maybe in the future, we'll have the chance to murder the fuck out of each other. What I thought was I don't know, odd or interesting. Does Proculus even know that guy tried to kill Chorus? Because it was clear in that episode that it was actually Kosudia that hired him. So I have no idea if Proculus even knows that this attack on Chorus occurred 2 or 3
I don't.
episodes
When I
ago.
Yeah,
saw
I don't think he
when I s-
does, or he should. Maybe he heard it through the grapevine.
when I saw the scene when Asher's like, I know you were behind this, and for me, what I got Proclus is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because he said something is like, if I was going to try to kill your guy, you would know it was me that was trying to kill you. Like it seemed like he was confused
I don't know. It seemed to
about
me like
what the Asher confronting him about that. Like he didn't know what was going on.
it came across to me like he just immediately blew on by the accusation, but just reaffirmed, yeah, Asher, I'd like to fucking kill you. So
Well,
maybe,
yeah, they
maybe,
both agreed they want to kill each
yeah.
other, but I
So,
don't think he knew.
all
He was
right.
like, dude, I didn't do it. I wasn't behind that. You think I was, but you would know it. Like your man would be dead if I was behind it. Is what I got from it.
All right, so apparently he doesn't know. The last thing that happens at this party is Achillea and Daddy Gladiator fuck. And Achillea is like, yeah, Daddy Gladiator, I would like to have sex, and Daddy Gladiator is like, Achillea, I'm sorry, I'm much too old for love, and Achillea is like, love's not what I'm looking for tonight. I just want some
Like,
dick,
yeah,
and so they go
you're the
back.
best of a bunch of shitty
Yeah.
dudes. I just want
Yeah,
to get.
you
laid.
are
So,
like all of the guys here suck. You suck the least. Let's have sex. And so they do. And is there anything else that we need to discuss from this party scene? This was fucking dense.
there's
Nice
a
scene
lot.
transition from O face to dead face. We had that.
Yes, classic Spartacus scene transition. Yeah, the O face to the or the sword straight through the head. Yeah, that was good.
The only
I like
other
that.
thing, at the party, really, it's kind of minor, but maybe not. Was what is it? Hilaria, the like
Oh
at the
yeah,
during the party, she's like talking to Asher about how, oh well, we should just like poison their wine because she's
yeah.
ready to just like start killing because
No,
even though
she said piss in it. She said
oh,
piss in
piss
their
in the
wine, not
wine.
poison.
Okay,
To
all
be
right.
fair to Ronan, she was all about poison in episode like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So
She's
here's the thing about
clearly
Halara.
she's very
Yeah,
clearly down to kill, or at least
yeah.
down for the
Here's the thing
attempt.
about Halara. Halara is gonna go full crazy at some point, and I am
Yeah,
100% for
that's
this. Like, I want her
oh,
to go full fucking nuts in this show.
There's an extended scene between Asher and Viridia talking.
Oh yeah.
It's clear they want to fuck each other, and Halara is just kind of like
Well, no,
very
because
upset.
remember, Messia comes up to her. Here's another point, another thing in this dense scene. Messia is like, uh, everybody can see that Asher's gonna bang her, right? Like you realize that he's just gonna go fuck her, right? And Hilaria's like, he won't or whatever. Like no, and like she's trying to play off like it's not gonna happen. She's like, I'm just telling you straight up as a friend, girl. Like
yeah.
I mean, you see, he's
And
eye
when,
fucking her constantly.
and when you need a shoulder to cry on, I got this one right
Yes,
here.
yes. And if you need anything else, I've
If
got
you
it all
need
right here.
if you need a pair of shoulders to rest your thighs on while you're angry about this, it's like I am here for that. She's ready for the trauma sex, for the
Well,
mess.
yeah. Here's the thing about like I like the Halara character, but she's just getting fucked over from every direction, and I don't mean that literally. Though in this case, Caesar is doing normal, but you know what I'm saying. Like she is the one character here where nothing good is happening for her in any respect, and I'm just waiting for this actress to crack because when she showed that in episode 2 or whatever when she just saw that Achillea was getting kind of like Asher's attention, and she went down there in that cell, and she kind of had the crazy eyes going. She was like, "I could have poisoned your drink, bitch. Could have poisoned your drink." I am ready for her to crack and
It's
go
going to be
bananas, and
glorious when that happens.
the show better They better deliver. Stephen DeKnight, I know you're one of the 10 people watching this show on YouTube. She better go crazy and it better be epic because I want Halara's revenge. The hell hath no fury like Halara scorned. That's what I'm waiting for.
All right, so now we're at the games, and let's talk about what's going on with the important people up in whatever the box that people watch the games from. So everyone, the Ashur, Caesar's wife, Gabinius, they're all there. Then Viridia shows up, and no one was expecting Viridia because one of the things that happened like in the party scene was Ashur was like, I hope I'll get to see you from the Pulvinus or whatever it's called, and she's like, actually, I don't like the games, but she shows up and she's the whole time she's there, she is vocally supporting Ashur. Again, to the chagrin of Halara.
Viridia, or no, what's Kasudia? Because Kasudia is like, come sit over by me, daughter. I'm so excited you're here. She's like, nah, I'm gonna sit next to Ashur.
The mom is like the mom's constantly throwing barbs at Ashur, and she's just like, ignore her. She's of a mood. And it's like,
that's the other thing that happened in that orgy party scene is Cornelia is trying to set up what's the daughter's name? I'm already forgetting all these names. Viridia with a dude in Rome because the mom's like, she knows all of the hot bachelors in Rome and she can totally set you up with somebody. So again, the mom's starting trying. I mean, Ashur's gonna end up marrying this chick, right? I mean, that's where this is going. She's gonna marry Ashur, and it's gonna drive everyone crazy. And then Ashur's gonna elevate into a higher status in Rome.
We hope. So Viridia is very loudly supporting Ashur. There's a scene where Caesar just mentions, oh, by the way, tomorrow I'm leaving. I'm going to meet Pompey at Sinuessa in Valais, whatever it's called.
Caesar's like, but by the way, I only have a 2-episode contract, so I'm going to be gone for the next few episodes. I'll show up in the finale, but I'm going to leave my wife here, and she's going to play nice with you. She loves it here in the house of Ashur.
Yes. So Caesar is going to meet Pompey in Sinuessa, and Sinuessa is the town that Spartacus and crew took over for several episodes in the final season. That's also the town where Viridia's husband was killed. Apparently, just there a lot of things are connecting back to this city. But Caesar's like, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm leaving, and Ashur's like, oh really? But I'm leaving my wife here.
He was so happy.
So happy, the highest of highs and then the lowest of lows for Ashur. But
Caesar knows how to twist that knife. Yes. He knows how to twist that knife.
But Caesar mentions he's going to meet Pompey, and Gabinius is like, Pompey's actually like leaving Rome. And Caesar's like, yep, sure is. I'm gonna go see him tomorrow. So like things are happening behind the scenes. Pompey, Gabinius has been trying to get Pompey to leave Rome. Get away from Rome so you're not tempted to pick a fight with Crassus. And now, for the first time, Pompey apparently is actually leaving Rome. How long is he going to be gone? We have no idea, but Caesar's going to leave, and he's going to leave his wife behind. And again, I found myself once again hoping that this just doesn't try to mirror too closely the original Spartacus, because I don't want because Glaber left behind Alithia, much to the chagrin of Badiatus in the previous series. I don't want too much of a mirror. Like, do some new shit here. But that's what's going on. The non-gladiators up in the spectators box. So let's talk about the actual games. Arado and Ephesius, we don't even see them fight. Like, unless one of them was the guy that died during the scene transition, but I don't even remember if they fought. I have completely forgotten it. The only two fights,
I didn't see it.
Nope,
I didn't even know when you said earlier they were fighting. I was like, they were they were supposed to be.
They were given position, but they aren't important enough for to be given a spot in the show.
Yeah,
I find out next episode if they lived. I guess.
Yeah, I need to go back and see like who actually. Was it anyone that we've seen before that was getting killed in that?
I think he was wearing a helmet, so I don't know if you'd see his face.
All right. Well, anyways, they fight, and like we don't care. So it's gonna be now. It's time for Kid and Daddy Gladiator to fight, and so they go and fight to, I guess, of Proculus's men, And Daddy Gladiator's like, all right, let's work together. Like, who do you want to attack first? And Kid Gladiator's like, both of them. Gee,
Yeah, and he
whiz,
runs in.
Helgers, I'm so
He's
happy.
learned nothing.
Yeah, he's
He's
learned
learned
nothing.
absolutely nothing from Gladiator.
I'm a flat character arc. It's like,
Yeah, in that moment, it's like, God, please kill him. Just
Yes.
end this Gladiator.
That's exactly. I'm like, dude, this guy, just end him, please. I don't even like. Here's the thing, I feel like we're supposed to like Kid Gladiator, or we're
because
supposed to
he's
be like, he's one of the
spunky or
main.
something.
He's one of the main gladiators, probably the only gladiator on the show that we're actually like focusing any attention on for the most. I don't consider Dad Gladiator as one of the main sort of like gladiators, and I'm just like, I hate this guy. Just kill him. Somebody, please. Can Dad just accidentally stab him to death in the ring?
And I want to be clear. For maybe you guys feel differently. I feel the actor is doing just fine. Like, he is doing what the show wants, but it's like the writing is just making us want him to die because he's being so fucking annoying. But yeah, he Daddy Gladiator asks him, which one do you favor? And he yells both of them, and he goes and picks a fight with both, and immediately gets knocked on his ass. So Daddy Gladiator has to save him. Eventually, the two of them do actually win their fight. I was expecting a follow-up scene where Daddy Gladiator just like knocks the shit out of Kid Gladiator. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll get it next episode, but we didn't get it here. So now it's time.
I think he should have knocked his ass out in the ring, like after they actually killed him, and Tarkon's all excited. The dad should just went.
You do the wrestling heel turn where you raise the other guy's hand and then you clothesline him.
There was some stuff going on in this fight. Kid Gladiator did get some like saves in at a certain point because he fucks up and he gets tossed to the side, and Dad Gladiator's having to fight both of them, and then he's on his back and he's about to get it, but then Kid Gladiator comes in and shields him. He's lost his sword. So there is some stuff going on with that where he is starting to figure out, I have to be Dad's shield. But it wouldn't shock me if this kind of becomes a setup in the next episode because Dad Gladiator is the one who kills both of the opposing gladiators. He gets the killing blow on the first guy, so let's just the second guy stabs him, and as he stabs him, he's already stabbed him, and then Kid Gladiator comes in to like a second later to get like a upping kind of killing blow.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Wasn't there early on though? Wasn't one of the main points in the first and second episodes that Achilea didn't want a shield, right? Because like she's like, a shield makes it harder for me to actually fight. It weighs me down, blah blah. And they're like, no, you got to fight with the shield. Got to fight with the shield. Got to fight with shield. Daddy Gladiator doesn't come in with a shield. He just comes in.
There are plenty of gladiator styles that don't use shields. Yeah,
right. So what was the whole emphasis on her having to use a shield? Was it just because like you're a woman and you need protection?
Yeah, there wasn't one. It's like she was just assigned a fighting style, and no one asked her opinion on the matter.
It was a way for us to spend at least an episode and a half of her getting beat up and not progressing. Because Ashur and Chorus and like everyone else was like, no, we're going to train her in this heavyweight Mamillo style instead of realizing she is a small, nimble woman who needs to focus on that speed. They eventually
mentioned the speed. Yeah, in this episode, they're like, she's doing the fast stuff. Like, you are short, you're fast. Go.
It takes them about an episode and a half to get there, which is why when we reviewed the last episode, it's like, okay, I'm over this. I'm over her getting beat up because they're dumb. But
she still gets beat up though.
Yeah, she does because she
still gets beat up.
We'll get into that. It actually makes sense within the fight, but we'll get there when we get into her fight.
Well, we're gonna get in there now because now it's her fight. Caesar announces to Primus, he's welcome Achilea, and Achilea goes out there and she's like, and everyone just starts laughing
when they hear Goddess of Death. And she comes, they cheer at first, then she walks out, and then there's like dead silence, yay, kill a death Goddess of Death. What? Boo! It's like
Goddess implies female. My dumb Roman brain just put that together, and so they.
It was funny. She gets the Ashur treatment, right? throwing vegetables at her like she's not like they don't give a shit about her at all. But
So
I think that Caesar has a great line there though, because I think it's Gabinius. One of them is like, "Oh, see," because Gabinius is all like, "Well, I during the first fight or the first, I assume the first fight we didn't see, and then Daddy Gladiator and Kid Gladiator, where he turns to Ashur, he's like." Yeah, I hope the crowd doesn't turn sour as soon as your goddess of death walks out. And then, of course, she walks out and the crowd turns sour towards her. And Gabinius makes some sort of comment, but Caesar actually makes a really intelligent comment, which actually goes back to like the real Julius Caesar and how he manipulated all this stuff. He's like, don't be swayed by like how a crowd just immediately acts in the moment of something like that. He's like, he essentially basically says like, this can be turned immediately if she actually wins, sort of thing. But basically telling Gabinius, you know, don't listen to the crowd. Wait till the fight plays out, sort of thing, and then we'll see where the crowd's at.
Caesar also, he wasn't also like completely against the idea of the female gladiator, because he comes out like, oh, he's got a woman in the arena, does he? Kind of like, because I mean, he was in the Spartacus rebellion. No doubt, he knew that, like, yeah, a lot of the Spartacus rebellion, there were a lot of women slaves, like, who were kicking ass too. So he's on Ashur's side, has, kind of in this. It's like, oh,
it's a spectacle. Like, this is going to be a spectacle.
He's
right?
also really excited at the idea of seeing a woman die in the arena, though.
Yeah.
All while he's constantly like making out with his wife in front of her. Did you notice that through this whole episode? Caesar's just constantly, he's like Pepe Le Pew all over his wife this entire episode.
But Stephen Denight's in the cuck chair off in the corner.
Too much.
All right, so let's talk about this. Achillia comes out and they cheer until they see her and then they boo. And so prior to her coming out, like there's the cages where they keep all the gladiators, and Achillia and the Ferox brothers are just constantly like just trading jabs at one another. And so Achillia comes out and Caesar's like, and her opponent, not the Ferox brothers. Out comes the fucking like whoever like Proculus's like main super gladiator, like the Crixus of House of Proculus from the first episode comes. His name is like Ammonius or something like that. But he comes out.
He's like 7 feet tall and built.
He's
like
the goddamn giant.
It's fucking absolute Batman. Absolute Batman comes out.
Ashur's face was like, what? He just Nick Terabay is perfect in this.
Yes, there's great reactions to everyone because Ashur is like, what the fuck is going on? And like the Ferox brothers are like throwing a fucking fit because they wanted to fight her. But Ashur's like, you changed the match absent consent. And Gabinius raises his hand and is like, actually, I just wanted her to fucking die. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this Achillia nonsense. I changed the fight.
Yeah, because Ashur thinks Caesar did it.
Yeah,
Ashur's like, you fuck, what are you doing? And Caesar's like, my hands are clean on this, buddy. Like, I'm just doing what good Gabinius
I'm just
wants.
announcing it. I don't care about any of you people enough to give over 2 fucks to who dies in there.
There's no backing out now. So now Achillia has to fight.
Wait. What's Chorus's line? Chorus's line's like, the gods have fucked us again. Or he says something hilarious when he sees, he's like, oh, shit.
I feel like the gods have... Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the phrase, the gods have fucked us, has been said by probably everyone in the history of the Spartacus episode.
Probably.
Anyways, they got to fight now, and so everyone's telling Achillia, use your speed. That's your only advantage, and so she does. She's fast. She's nimble. Ammonia. I'm going to call him that. Ammonia is having trouble, getting to her. But when he does get to her, he's able to like just easily like push her around. But she's able to do fucking kick flips off the wall to get away from him. But it's still not looking good for her though. At one point, like he throws his sword out there and she like blocks it with her hand, and so like her hand is like cut in half between like her index and middle finger, and she's not having
if he had gone a little further, she'd have like the General Grievous arm that could split and become like two. That's like the kind of like that's what she would have had at a certain point.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's this fight was super brutal. Even before this happens, like he hits her with something, she flies and like hits her mouth on the steel
Yeah.
gate. It's like,
Yeah,
oh my god.
he
Like I was
hits her
actually grimacing.
he like punches or hits her so hard that she goes flying through the air and smacks into like a grate that separates like the arena from outside the arena, and she smacks into it upside down and then collapses to the ground.
It's brutal.
It's yeah, she gets fucked
Yeah,
up in this in this fight, but it's she's been beaten. It looks like she's about to die. And so Ammonia is going to go for the killing blow, and he swings down, and she rolls out of the way and holds up her sword and just
But why?
grab what?
But why does she roll out of the way?
Oh yeah,
she
she
starts
starts having a
having like
flashback
Mad
to her
Max Fury
past.
Road visions. So like a
Yeah,
little kid.
we still don't know her past. So I don't know who this is, but she starts having visions of some person from her past. So she rolls out of the way and she holds up her sword and she grabs Ammonia by the belt and pulls him down. The sword goes up his ass while he
Yeah,
is
just
Right into
falling
the
down.
tank.
bam.
And
Right
then
into
she
the
rolls out
tank.
of the way, right
It
into the
kicks
tank,
it.
and she rolls away and kicks it. Further kicks the sword up his ass. And then she grabs a sword and she just like smacks him in the brain with the sword. And everyone's freaking out, like, fuck yeah, the goddess of death is one. She's killed Ammonia. And then she bleeds out and collapses, and that's where the episode ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this was a hard, uncomfortable to watch fight. Like and to a certain extent, like this, like so like everyone who's like who has been saying like oh well, a woman could never beat a fool like glad blah blah blah. Like this is like they kind of have their way in this because like this is more or less like if you put a smaller opponent of equal skill to a big like absolute Batman stack shithouse opponent of also equal skill, more than likely absolute Batman is going to win. That like yes, there's nimbleness, there's being fast, and but like you just have the ability to power through attacks and stuff, and that's what happened because Achilles is doing really good at first of dodging, hit here. Her only hope in a situation like this is death by 1,000 cuts. But they stacked the deck against her and put her
Or
up against
one big cut to the ass.
yeah. Well, they stack if this had been like a person like Kid Gladiator style, he wouldn't have been able to easily literally thrown her to where she suddenly is suspended on wires and doing shitty wire work across this arena. But if it had been somebody of smaller stature, like she could the fight would have been different. But they put her up against again, absolute Batman who's just able to like pick her up and throw her. So like this was a mean, brutal fight, and like that is the moment that she lost. Like, well, not she lost, but that she started. That she was doing good at first, but then she made the mistake of getting locked into it because he starts pushing her with the shield. That's the moment where she like loses control because now he's out muscling her, and that's she literally she has zero chance of out muscling him, and that's when he's able to just ragdoll her. That's like so they
Yeah.
I feel like this fight was one to address it. Like, yeah, if you put her up against somebody like Gannicus or some big gladiator, yeah, they would roll her up and turn her into a pretzel. But like at the same time, like they set her up to fail, but she still was able to
Yeah.
win in this. Had it been the brothers Ferox, I don't think she would have gotten ragdolled nearly as bad.
There's also an aspect of this that I think people don't sort of consider is like the hubris of the gladiators, right? So everyone is underestimating her completely. And yeah, she gets her ass handed to her, but it's the gladiator acting all hot shit and, basically distracting himself, which allows her to get that sword stuck up his
Caught
ass. Um,
monologuing, but it's a
Yeah,
gladiator, so the monologue was just
yeah,
he's monologuing, and
like,
then she hits him with the schoolboy roll up into the sword into the taint. Classic Ric
yeah,
Flair move. Classic move.
yeah. And it was, I mean, and I think like there is an aspect to these fights that are very very uncomfortable to watch because when it's a woman, and this was even in the original Spartacus, like when Navy is getting her ass beat down and stuff. It's like it's when a woman is just getting beat up by a big dude, it's just naturally uncomfortable, right? It makes you feel like kind of like, oh. So then well, that cathartic moment when she does stick that sword right up his ass and then kicks it in there even further, it's like, hell yeah. But I think they did a good job here in making me believe like, okay, she can't beat this guy. If this guy was actually focused and was just like, I'm gonna fucking go kill her, then she would have lost,
Yeah.
right? And she probably would have lost to the Ferox brothers, to be honest, because they were completely hyper focused on killing her. Even the main guy was like, don't do it too quickly because I'm gonna fucking kill her, and I
Yep.
want to would be the one that does
Do it
this killing
slowly.
blow.
I want to enjoy making her suffer.
Yeah, and so, but there was that funny thing when she won with the Ferox brothers.
They
He's
had
like,
to move a
"What
bit.
happened? Someone lift me up so I can see." Couldn't
Ferox
see through the
brothers,
window.
because they are little people, like they're in their cell and they can't look out like the little holes that are on the floor of the arena where like like
Chorus is looking out, watching everything. We're like, "What happened? What happened?" They're so pissed off when she won.
eventually they realize that there is this convenient stool over there and they lift it
Yeah,
and move it just in time to see like the crowd chanting her name. They missed the whole fight.
yeah. But I think this fight was. I think all the fights, honestly, in the show have been really, really solid. I think they've all been really, really cool. But this fight in particular, I think they did a really good job of being like, okay, we know when we make this show, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, female gladiator." She's just gonna start kicking
Mary
everybody's ass
Sue
and
or
everything like that.
whatever, yeah.
And I feel like they're going almost out of their way now to be like, no, she's getting her ass kicked over and over and over. And now she's got a fucking hand that's been chopped in half. She's going to be out of action for quite a while.
Yeah, I don't
Do you
know
think we'll
how.
even see her fight the Ferox brothers this season?
Yeah, I don't like realistic. Like odds are they're like in the next episode we're just going to see her hand just kind of like bound together and she'll be fine. But like realistically, I don't think that's an injury that you could recover from. Like at least in terms of fighting, it's like oh well, she. I guess she got the one win. Like like realistically, Asher should be like, well, okay, you won. I guess I'll set you free because now you're you literally have
There's
worn out your.
coin to be made now. There's
Yeah,
coin to be
well,
made.
except
She
for the
can't
fact
get out now.
well, like, except for the fact that, like, again, realistically, with that
Oh,
hand, like,
yeah. It's split
No,
down the
they'll
yeah,
just
middle.
they'll just give her like the Agron like shield sword combo. It just gets strapped to
uh,
her forearm.
yeah, that's
Or what they'll do is next episode she'll be in a bath, and then Daddy Gladiator will come up there and just start like sponge
dabbing.
dabbing it, and then we'll get a nice little bath sponge dab, and she'll be fine. It's like monkey balm. You just put it on and you're fine.
I mean,
Chorus was fine after being stabbed like 15 times in his
yeah,
chest.
yeah,
Fine.
Crixus survived having like entrails being exposed to like the arena sand and shit. So they're just gonna pack like whatever that like healing herbs and wrap her hand up, and then her
Yeah.
hand's gonna be fine. But
It's ancient Rome. They can fix that. The
yeah,
medicus can fix it,
this
no
is not a
problem.
realistic show, is what we're getting at. She's gonna be fine.
Well, let's talk about our overall thoughts of this episode. Steve, what did you think of this one?
I liked it. I was a big fan of the episode. Like Caesar did a great job of making me immediately hate him. I like that the actual like the storyline outside of the games is finally progressing. We're seeing, there's plots happening behind the scenes to get Ashur into place with Gabinius. I thought the fight scenes were really well done. The party needed to be less things needed to happen.
Let's
Less
condense that
things,
party theme
fewer
down.
things. No, I don't even condense it. Like parts of that just needed to be saved for a different episode. Like, what impact did finding out that Operator was part of the scheme have on this episode? None. Move some shit to a future episode because that there was just too fucking much happening in that one scene.
It felt like it's like we have Caesar here this episode. We have to just explain to the audience everything that Caesar was doing and how Caesar is
No.
interacting with all of these people before he's gone. That's what
It
felt like.
does. It does seem like I got the same impression. Like this actor is not going to be a big part of the show. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone. Otherwise, they wouldn't have pointed out that he is just leaving at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
It
no,
seems
it's like
like this is.
It's like how in the
Yeah.
80s you would have, you would pay for like Frank Stallone, but you only had, like money for like, a day and a half of Frank Stallone in your 80s movie. So, you cram as much
Is
Frank
that a thing?
Stallone. Yeah, yeah. In bad 80s movies, yeah, that happened all the time. like
Okay.
Yes.
you pay for it, but you only had enough money for like a day and a half. So, like, he's barely in the movie, but you cram as much as possible, which is usually just going to be him, like, in
Yeah.
front of a desk or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Outside of the party having way too fucking much information in it, loved it. Thought it was a great episode. Love the fights. Love the characters. Even the copy and paste gladiators are finally getting some things to do now.
What's your rating?
B plus. If not for the party scene, I'd say it would be a solid A.
Okay. Ronan, your thoughts on Goddess of Death?
Yeah, then I was basically the same as Steve. It was good that we set up that, like, Caesar, and by proxy, since he does, represent what Crassus wants. It's good to finally get that established into the show. Have, like, actually physically, here's the tangible Crassus Caesar connection. Uh, it's good that we finally have that. He's done good as making himself, like, okay, here's the foil that Ashur has to either climb over, or will, I don't know, maybe he die, not Caesar, maybe Ashur dies. Who knows? I don't I it's just this is alternate history show, although at the same time Ashur's not a real historical character. But anyway, like, yeah, the party scene is the part, like, 'cause that was the part, like, watching it was like, "Oh god, make this fucking stop. I'm not interested in any of this. Please just stop." Ah, it went on way too fucking long. Even in, like, the first, like, in the previous all 4 of the previous shows, like, your generic orgy info dump scene, none of them lasted this long. So, yeah, that
This was a
orgy.
good 40 minutes. It felt like 40 minutes of the episode was
Yeah.
this party and all the stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's like it went on way too long, and it was done too clumsy. They pushed they yeah, they didn't realize until they started filming that they only had like a day and a half of Frank Stallone money.
Okay.
So they had to really rush in and get as much of them as possible into this episode.
So let
And
me ask you: we have a new villainess who has now entered, which would be Cornelia, Caesar's wife. Based on what you've seen of her in this episode, are you intrigued by what kind of shenanigans she's going to get up to? Do you feel like she's just going to be like season one Alithia type character causing some problems, or what are your thoughts on Cornelia? And are you happy that she's being inserted into this show?
And I wouldn't say happy, I'm more indifferent at this point. Like, the dynamic won't be the same as Alithia. Like, I doubt highly, because Alithia, like, it was routinely stated in, like, the first Spartacus show that she was, like, super young and immature, and that's why she was just kind of lashing out the way that she was. But, like, the blood orgy that happened at the end of the first show kind of matured the fuck out of her. And so by the time we get her in the second season, she is a very different, breed of character. I doubt highly that she will, like, Cornelia is going to go through that, but I don't know. We'll see. That's Yeah, yeah. I can't say if I'm like a for or against this yet, because, like, outside of the fact that she clearly has a no nipple clause in her contract, or at least currently.
So
I,
far,
yeah,
so far.
outside of that, it's like, oh, okay, well, she's just another Roman, another Roman bitch. Yeah, who's like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Steve, what do you think of Cornelia so far? What do you think she's going to get up to?
I I I want her to be a part of the scheming, the schemes that everyone's involved in. I need her to be involved with that. I don't want her only purpose to be annoying and cause problems. I could do. Frankly, I could have done without Caesar in this episode. I could do without Cornelia as well. I Leaving her behind just seems in my so far. I obviously haven't seen the next episode; it's not out yet. Leaving her behind so far serves no other purpose to me than to go, hey, remember when we did the same thing last time with Alithia? And
Yeah.
she needs to be, whatever she does, it needs to be a role that is counter to what Alithia did. I don't want her role to be, I'm going to be annoying, I'm going to be annoying, I'm going to be annoying, and but then Ashur and Hilar are going to get one up on her, and now suddenly Cornelia has to be subservient to Ashur. Like, I don't, as long as they don't repeat what happened with Alithia, I'll deal with it, but I don't particularly care about her at the moment.
Okay, that's fair. Ronan, what was your letter grade for this episode?
I'd give it a B. Like last
B?
episode was a solid banger. This episode is not bad, but it's like the rest of the show. It's like, yeah, this was all right. It's like,
Okay.
so just B.
Above average, yeah. I really, really like this episode. I agree with what you guys said. The party scene there was so much information in it, and it just kept going on and on and on and on. I think they could have done something a little different. I would have liked to have seen some of those people maybe leave the party and have some conversations like, I got to go to the market or something. And then, hey, let's meet up at the market and talk or do something. But it's like that party scene was just like sex transition, next dialogue scene, sex transition, next dialogue scene. I really, really, if anything needed to be cut from this episode, it was fucking Kid Gladiator and his
Yeah, that serves no
love
purpose.
woman.
At least,
Who gives a shit at this point?
yeah.
It's dumb. She's shown up twice just to have sex. That's it. All
She
we
was
know out of 2
technically
episodes.
in the crowd, like she was there invisible in the crowd when they were having their fight. We didn't mention it because it's like it's just kind of like she's there and he's looking at her.
Yeah. Oh, interesting thing about Halara. So when obviously Halara is standing right there next to Viridia, and Asher's like, "Go get her wine and grapes and all this stuff," and Halara's mad. Halara. One thing that I would have liked to have seen is what Halara's reaction was to Achilea winning, because they don't do a cutback shot to how pissed off she should be at that, because she wanted to kill Achilea in episode 2. She wanted to poison her, but we've seen nothing more of that relationship at all since that point. And so I think it would have been a good callback to just sort of at least see her pissed off that Achilea won the match as well, and how happy Ashur is. But again, maybe I'm
Yeah.
so for Halara right now that I'm just like, I just want
It's
the House
it's
of
hard.
Halara. That's what I
Yeah,
want.
it's hard to say, like, because like, yeah, there's like that whole antagonism relationship, whatever, has more or less completely that has been dropped entirely. But I don't know
Yeah.
if that was to set up that like those two don't like each other, or if that was to set up that that bitch is crazy. Like I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think it was just a setup that Halara is very protective of Ashur, and Achilea has not threatened Ashur in any way since then, and so Halara's got no problem,
Uh,
got no reason to fuck with her.
Yeah,
Viridia. Okay, we're 5 episodes. This will be the last question before we wrap this episode up. We are 5 episodes halfway through. Who is going of all the characters we have here? Who's the first one that's going to die? Somebody's got to die on this show, whether it's a gladiator, whether it's Viridia, Halara, Messia, whoever.
Dad
Who is your
Gladiator,
prediction?
yeah,
Daddy
Dad
Gladiator,
Yeah,
100%.
the Dad
Dad
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
They're gonna die in the arena, and it's gonna be because Kid Gladiator was fucking off, and that's gonna be his big moment, probably.
See, here's what I think. I agree with you. I think it's going to be Dad Gladiator, but I think Kid Gladiator is going to end up accidentally killing Dad, because Dad's falling for Achilea, and Kid Gladiator wants to kill Achilea. And I think something's going to happen. Dad's going to try to protect her, and Kid Gladiator is going to end up killing him or something like that. That's my prediction.
I could
But
see
I
him
didn't.
accidentally killing him, but yeah, I
And
don't
then
know if it would be a
he's gonna be like, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen. But I do think that Dad Gladiator is gonna be the one to go. For sure.
yep.
For sure. But all right, folks, let us know. Who do you think is going to be the first one to go? Drop a comment down below. Ronan loves the engagement. So
It helps the
that's what he's
channel
all about.
grow, so they say.
Yeah, so they say. We'll be back next Friday with another episode. It'll be episode 6 of House of Ashur. We are digging the hell out of this show. It's living up to our expectations so far, I think. So keep it up, Stephen, tonight, and we'll see you guys next Friday here on Outpost Unknown. Adios. Goodbye.